Yeah. Have you ever had a polar bear meet?
Have I ever had polar bear meat?
Are you probably not allowed to even say you have if you have?
No, I've never eaten polar bear. To be honest, I'm trying to think if I've ever actually seen a polar bear in the wild. I don't think I have. I've been in the right places to see them, just haven't really ever done that. I would like to. I've been up in Barrow, and there's definitely polar bear around there. I don't think I've been far enough north in Norway to see polar bear, but someday I would like to. I know that a few years ago, 15, 20 years ago probably, for some reason, there was polar bears far enough south that they saw them on the Iditarod. So a musher came into a checkpoint and reported that they had seen a polar bear. Of course, the race officials, thought they were hallucinating, which happens.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
Yeah, we're going to get into that. Believe me.
There's no way. Polar bears don't come this far south. And then another musher came in and said they saw a polar bear. And then the race folks were thinking, well, there's probably an iceberg that looks like a polar bear or something, and it's just throwing people. And then a camera crew came in and said, we got video of a polar bear. And then they started taking it seriously because we carry a handgun with us, or many of the mushers do. I do, sure, for moose protection. But none of us carry anything big enough to actually handle a polar bear.
Yeah, no, you would put all 8 rounds in that thing. You wouldn't even pierce the fat layer, I bet.
That's what everyone says is like there's not rules, but it's like, okay, if you see a black bear do this, if you see a grizzly bear do this, but it's like if you see a polar bear, there's not really a by the book way to handle it.
The difference between people like you and me is when you said I've never seen a polar bear, I'd like to. That I would never. There's no situation where I'm like, man, I don't even want to see him in a zoo.
We had a polar bear up here in Alaska for a long time at the zoo, and he was quite famous. I think his name was Binky or something unbecoming like that. And I think he mauled several people. It may have been a she, I don't know. But for some reason, there was like some college kids that decided they wanted to swim in the polar bear pool.
Always college.
That didn't work out too well. It's always a college kid, yeah.
When I lived in San Francisco, when I was in San Francisco, some kids threw rocks at the tiger cage, and the tiger jumped out of the zoo and mauled them. And even the news anchor was very unsympathetic. He was like, "Yeah, well, that's what happens."
Yeah, you imagine like humanity somewhere in the realm of, let's say, 10,000 years ago, and we had to be able to navigate, animals in the wild, and the stuff you had to do and be successful at to survive as a human 10,000 years ago versus now.
Right.
But we still have people getting it wrong, right? The tiger's in a dang zoo, and you're in a city, and you still get mauled by a dang thing, right? So you wonder how would they have fared 10,000 years ago with, the American lion or whatever we had over here that was 20-something feet long and was eating humans. It would have been
I would imagine there wouldn't be a lot of people. Yeah, I don't think those people would have really existed. They wouldn't have been allowed to.
Yeah, not a lot of pranksters back then.